FYI, one of the corruptest countries in the world is Romania. If other countries want to buy Romania, they can do it.
Wow.
I get a message this morning from a guy that's very, very connected in FBI, PD, all of
Department of Justice type
extremely qualified. U.S. Embassy was involved to go in and taking him down. Is they're trying to use this to bring him to U.S. courts to get him to be seen guilty. There's a rule of thumb. If you go after the establishment, be ready. Don't be surprised if a hero disappoints you. That's one. And I said, listen, never ever put that much pressure on a man to be perfect, because he's gonna fall. Never give that much, love and attention and accolades to a human being. Give him love, give him respect, but you're talking as if he's God and he can't make any mistakes. Request that you have. One of the things we realized is the Vanderbilts lost their wealth. They were the richest people in the world. They lost their wealth within 2 generations. Think about that.
Damn.
You're worth a few $100 billion. The money's lost within 2 generations. But the Medici family and the Rothschild family has kept the wealth and the power for many, many years. You know what rule those guys follow? One basic rule. Don't be loud.
Yeah.
Do not be loud. Don't call out the establishment. Don't be too opinionated. Stay low key. Keep a low profile. You don't see a Rothschild getting on TV, giving their opinions, running a podcast. You don't see a Medici family running the top podcast in the world. Now, having said that, the Medici and the Rothschild is playing a different game.
Right.
They're indirectly part of the establishment.
Of course.
Because they have
They are
to buy.
the global elites. They
Exactly.
are the definition of the global elite.
So for Tate to go out and you keep calling out the heroes of the left over and over and over and over again, you're taking the ultimate risk. This means the speed to stardom is very, very quickly, but the fall could also be very, very quickly by these guys trying to manipulate and take you down.
So he's trying to make a name for himself. The problem is what this is kind of akin to is like we all read Greek mythology as a kid. Icarus, he flew a little too close to the sun and he got burned.
FYI, one of the corruptest countries in the world is Romania. You know how many people messaged me yesterday from Romania? Listen, this place is corrupt. That lawyer on the Twitter Spaces yesterday said the following. He said everything in Romania is about money. Everything. So if you want to buy them out to get out, you can do it. If other countries want to buy Romania, they can do it. If other countries want to call Romania to say, hey man, you guys got to get this thing squared away, or else we're not going to give you the support, or we're not going to give you this, you have to do it. Because Romania, who's Romania? Is it a top 20 empire? Is it a top 50 empire? Nobody thinks about Romania as one of the most powerful empires in the world that everybody wants to have a relationship with. So, meaning, if a place like Romania can be bought to take a guy like this down, that is very possible. I'm not saying that's what happened. That's very possible. Then, last but not least, I get a message this morning from a guy that's very, very connected in FBI, PD, all of
Department of Justice type
extremely qualified guy. I don't want to give exactly what his job is because you know who it is.
Okay.
He said the following. I saw the interviews last night. Keep this in mind if you talk to him. They have to have probable cause to do these warrants. The excuse that somebody made a complaint, an anonymous complaint at that, and they sent a SWAT team to his house is bullshit. Even though it's Romania, they still have laws in the U.S. Embassy, and the U.S. Embassy was involved. I think the embassy put them up to it.
Wow.
He needs to find out where the hell and complain from there. Anyways, meaning he's trying to say,
they all work together.
meaning this is not accidental
course not.
to do the warrant. Maybe there is a probable cause for it, but also at the same time, U.S. Embassy was involved to go in and taking him down.
Weird.
So it's a very strange situation going on with this here. So it's not just a one-sided story. There's a lot of different sides to it. But everybody jumped to conclusions celebrating this guy getting arrested. It was like their New Year's came 5 days before, 3 days before with this guy getting arrested. But the only difference is he didn't call out climate change activists. He didn't call out the left. He didn't call out any of this stuff. So there's a there's a rule of thumb. If you go after the establishment, be ready. If you go after the establishment, be ready, especially the louder you are. By the way, there are only a few people loud enough to go after the establishment. One of the guys today that's super loud is number one is Musk.
Yep.
And Tate's in the top 10 of the loudest against the establishment. We know what happened when Trump went after the establishment. We're seeing what's going on with Musk going after the establishment. We're seeing what he went after the establishment. Those are a couple things you got to be careful with. Here's the part about what you just said. One of the claims is what they're trying to do, okay, is, you know how a lot of times like, well, how come he doesn't come to U.S.? I don't want to come to U.S. I don't want to come to U.S. I don't want to come to U.S. One of the claims that one of the lawyers made is they're trying to use this to bring him to U.S. courts to get him to be seen guilty. This is an outcome of trying to bring him here.
Extradition.
Yes, to bring him here and have the U.S. courts hold him accountable. Okay, because who is he calling out? If you were to take out of the 196 countries or so that we have, give or take, what country does he call out the most?
U.S.
Not, is there even a
Western
close,
society, Western
nothing.
culture, global
Western society is the first
100%.
country he calls out non-stop. He's constantly calling out. Okay. And what's he calling out about the Western society?
Like making men into, like making us
System is
soft,
rigged.
and he's basically saying that, you know, when you want to come and let's say take over a country, you got to take the men, get the men out, make them feminine, and da 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 da. And he's just calling out all the woke shit.
Who, you know, the woke folks don't want to hear that. The left folks don't want to hear that.
Of course not.
But to defend him, he's that much of a trigger to the left because Greta, don't forget that post, that tweet by her got a couple 100 million views on Twitter, and this is under Musk. That thing got a couple 100 million views under Twitter. What does that tell you? She's got a following.
Of course.
She's got influence. People actually want to sit there and believe that she's right. And by the way, thank God she's 19 years old, because some people would come back and said you're going after a minor.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's 19 years old, so it's not like she's we all know her as 12 years old or 15
Yeah.
years old. She's no longer 15 years old. She's 19 years old today. So, yeah, they're trying to bring him to the States that's what a lot of people said, they're trying to bring him out here, but we'll see.
Here's where I think Tate message gets lost in translation, and that's kind of how he's labeled. Like if you look at any article out there, any headline, it's male chauvinist Andrew Tate, you know, toxic masculinity Andrew Tate, and that's kind of what he's framed as. But if you actually peel back the onion and you actually listen to what Tate's saying and not taking little sound bites, all he's talking about at the end of the day is male self-improvement. And that's essentially everything that we stand for here at Valuetainment. That's everything that I talk about here, is no matter what you're doing in life as a man, there's always room for self-improvement. Personal responsibility, being positive, whether that's being stronger, faster, cooler, wealthier, doper, sexier, everything is about status. So again, back to my initial point. Yes, he talks about the system, and he talks about people label him as a misogynist and a toxic masculinity. But at the end of the day, I think the reason that he's resonated with so many dudes is he's like, nobody's coming to save you, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody's walking in this door. You need to do it yourself. Keep improving. Keep working. Outwork, out-strategize, out-improve, outlast. And that's his messaging. But nobody wants to talk about that.